to get her going. Okay. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If we could please rise for that. It's in the back corner there. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, recognition of visitors.
I'm going to sign it.
Okay, any visitors here that would like to address the board at this point in time? If not, we'll move ahead with the student recognition of the Pride Card winners. This is something we started about a year and a half, 2 years ago, where we try to recognize some students at the beginning of every meeting for their hard work and effort. So we really appreciate parents coming out tonight and fighting the weather and all those good things to be here. So we'll start with the elementary school.
All right, our first winner is Anna Miller in kindergarten. This is a pride card from Mrs. Moon. When she complimented Anna on her coloring, she immediately told me about another student's great job. I love how Anna says nice things about other students. Our next one is a first grader, Leah Adkins. This is from Mrs. Sullivan. Leah did not do well on an AR test. Leah made the choice to try it again and do an even better job. Great choice, Leah. That was from Mrs. Sullivan. This one's from Mrs. Lang for Logan Stallnaker in second grade. And sorry, I'm just going through these because I don't see these students here. So when I get to a student that I see, I'll stop. Mrs. Lang saw Logan find a lunch envelope that was not in the right place, and he put it where it belonged. This student I know is here, Samantha Ward, who's sitting back there. Samantha, after I'm done reading this, if you want to come up, and I'll give you a certificate and you can shake the board members' hands. This is from Mrs. Lowshark and Mrs. Huth. Samantha is a great student and library helper who is always helping out in the library. Awesome job. Come on up, Samantha. Samantha is also, I think, one of the best basketball players we have here. She's constantly on the playground shooting hoops. Our next student is Savannah Varshney, and this is from Mrs. Merck. Thank you, Savannah, for spending one of your recesses with me to make chocolate eclair cake. You did an awesome job spreading the graham crackers and eating them. You make a fabulous chef. Thank you for giving up your time to do something nice and delicious for the class. The next one is Alyssa Cacciola from Mrs. Green and Mrs. Hutchinson. Thank you so much for working so quietly during group work. Your work ethic is great. Keep up the great work. I don't think any of those students are here. So now we have middle school.
Okay, from grade 6, this card was written for Bryce Wallin from Mr. Flanagan. Bryce helps put up all the classroom chairs on a daily basis without being asked. And then in 7th grade, Colton Chevron, this is from Mrs. McKay. It was nice of you to help a kindergarten student with his lunch in the lunchroom. I'm sure he appreciated the fact that you saw he needed help carrying his tray and that you were willing to help. I appreciate your efforts also. And then in grade 8, a card for Brooke England from Mrs. Chack. Brooke was a big help during intervention as she helped students with typing and editing their comparison paper. I appreciate her help, as do the students she was helping. So I don't see any of those students, but congratulations to them.
All right, Colleen Kelly, 9th grade, from Mrs. Nyland. Colleen is a great role model for other students. She is focused and participates in discussion. She also contributes to the student body outside of classes. Her efforts and attention are very appreciated. Brandon Mallow, this is a 10th grade student, Mr. Negron. And again, his are interesting. Volunteering his time during the academic opportunity period, Mr. Mallow assisted a fellow classmate in achieving a level of competency required by the American history teacher. His mastery of the topic reflects great credit upon himself, the sophomore class, and the Waterloo School District. Sydney Kiefer, 11th grade. Thank you for helping with Pep Club. You are so happy and peppy. You definitely made me laugh today. And that was from Mrs. Holland Donner. And Allie Falzetta from Mrs. Wolf. Allie, thank you for helping Mrs. Carodi with Mrs. Ritchie's 2nd grade art class. Mrs. Ritchie thanks you also. Those are the high school ones.
Okay, thank you, everyone. At this time, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the Waterloo Board of Education. Roll call, please, Tom.
Fletcher,
Here.
Whittlesey,
Here.
Busateri,
Here.
Gump,
Here.
Brock.
Here.
Okay, item 4, I'd like to, can I get a recommendation or a nomination to accept the Waterloo Board of Education agenda for this evening, regular meeting?
So moved. I'll second it.
Any comments or questions? Thank you. I'm sorry. I should have said, I meant to say that anybody who was here that for the pride cards that wanted to go, you're more than welcome to do that. We understand. Appreciate you coming. Any comments or questions? Roll call, please.
Whittlesey,
Yes.
Brock,
Yes.
Fletcher,
Yes.
Gump,
Yes.
Busateri.
Yes. Okay. Item 5, the President's Report. I just want to congratulate our 3 new board members, and looking forward to working with everyone again. You know, I've been on the board a few years now, and one of the things that's really nice and is that everybody, I mean, we all work together pretty well, and we all bring something. We all have differing opinions, but we all bring something to the table and come out with. At the end, we usually try to come out with something that's pretty good. We think is pretty good, and in the best interest of the student body, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, is to help the students reach their educational goals. So I'm looking forward to working with everyone. Congratulations to Adam. It's nice to see, I never thought I'd say this, a young guy. I always thought I was a young guy because I don't feel like I'm as old as I am. But it's nice to see a young kid, younger gentleman on the board, and it's nice to see, Diane graduated from Waterloo, and I graduated from Waterloo, Adam did, and we love all the board members, but it's always nice over the years. It's interesting to see how many people have come back over the years who were Waterloo alumni in that. So it's very nice to see, and like I said, looking forward to working with everyone. And it is, are you going to mention the?
I am.
Okay, I'll leave that alone. Yes.
My turn?
It's there. No, almost.
Jump out
Almost.
turn, so.
Nope, almost. So thank you, everybody, and looking forward to working together. So.
Thanks, Brian. Got a few things here to go over. Brian mentioned that January is the official school board recognition month, so we wanted to recognize all of you school board members, current and past, and thank you for all the work you've done over the last year, and wish you the best of luck this year, particularly Adam, our newest board member. And we actually have, can I grab that and just pull up and show everyone? We have it's not a plaque, but a framed, it's not even artwork, just a framed message for all the board members, just kind of congratulating you for all the work that you do. And we also have a little gift basket that Andrea Ryan, our special ed coordinator, is Andrea still here? Andrea, who helped you with that? Just you by yourself, you did all that work? You had several people watching you do that work?
The kids made,
Oh, they did the card. Okay.
yeah, it's in the card for the signing today.
Very nice. Thank you for doing that as well, for all the board members. We appreciate that. Other things that we have, just a few things. The Waterloo Granite sign has been placed on the existing Randolph Atwater sign out front. So take a look at that. It's finally, I know it's been a long time, and it is now in place. Want to say particularly thank you to Sarshones. They, with their intent on donating funds for a new scoreboard on the football/soccer field / marching band field and whatever else it's used for. But they agreed upon donating the funds needed for a new scoreboard, so we're very thankful for their support. And other things, last thing is this, I thought this was worth mentioning, our mechanics, Ty Brooks and Joe Hudkins, they were very nervous today. They had inspection with the county, and they passed, all 12 buses passed inspection. They were very, very proud of that, and I was very proud of them for getting that work done. They worked very hard. I thought it was worth mentioning. So congratulations to those two, and to Robin Ferguson as well. Thank you.
Hey, thank you. Thanks you very much for the gift basket. And these two gentlemen over here did the card, is that what you said? No. I'm sorry? The class. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Just a group of students. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Brings us to item 7, the treasurer's report.
I have nothing for tonight.
Okay. Item 8, the student liaison report. Tori?
Thank you. I'm going to start with the senior class this evening. We are in the process of ordering t-shirts. We are also busy preparing for Spirit Week and the Spirit Games, which is a very exciting time. We're hoping to take possession of the Spirit Stick. The junior class is continuing to raise money for prom by manning the concession stands during all basketball games. And the freshman class just finished 2 fundraisers where they sold t-shirts and candy. The sales helped start a fund for the class, and they are in the process of planning out their next fundraiser, which should take place around Valentine's Day. National Honor Society, the new inductee ceremony will be held in the middle school cafeteria Thursday, January 28th at 6:30 p.m. We're very excited. I think there are 11 new members this year. Student Council will hold a blood drive for the Red Cross on January 28th as well. Winter is always a critical time of need for blood banks. Pep Club is busy making signs for the wrestling and basketball teams to cheer on for our Waterloo teams. Drama Club has recently changed their spring production from Singing in the Rain to Guys and Dolls. Not sure why they changed it, they just did. And auditions will be held Tuesday, January 19th. For our high school choirs, members of both the Viking Voices and the Waterloo Singers will be attending solo and ensemble competition on February 13th, where they will perform for a qualified adjudicator and thereupon be rated on the performance. Indoor track is going well. There are 10 to 15 athletes that are conditioning, and their first meet will be at Kent State University Saturday, January 23rd. And last, I have Ski Club. They had their first trip to Brandywine this past Monday, and there was a group of 27 students, grades 6 through 12, and 19 of them are new to Ski Club this year.
They had enough snow?
Apparently. Lessons are provided as part of the program, and beginners benefited greatly from them. Students were on hills of all levels of difficulty, from the Bunny Hill to Terrain Park, and one student even landed a front flip on a snowboard. Members are looking forward to their next trip, which is scheduled for January 25th. And that's all I have for you today.
Thank you, Tori. Okay, that brings us to the high school principals update.
Tori and I didn't get a chance to chat beforehand. Typically we do so that we don't overlap each other, but you only took 2, so it's all right. Did all right. Didn't take too much of my stuff here. I promised at the last meeting that I would pass around this schedule. The ACT boot camp is underway again because there's a February test. So if you want to take a look at that, that's in the works right now. January 21st, which is just next week already, and this has been out there and on Facebook and on our website, there's a financial aid parent meeting. So for those of you who know what it's like to fill out a FAFSA, it's quite complicated, but we have a representative from, I believe, Kent State and Youngstown both coming, actual financial aid officers, to help you. If you come that night, you will leave with a completed FAFSA form, which is really important. And once you do it once, then all you have to do is update it, so it's nice. Tori did touch on the National Honor Society induction ceremony.
We have a new advisor this year, so we're gonna put the, we changed it up and put the ceremony in the evening versus during, it usually is in the morning during the school day. And parents like me who wanna come and support, seeing their child inducted in such a great, society, can't do that when it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. So we thought we'd give it a shot and put it in the evening, so that hopefully we can have some parents, more attendance there. We also decided with the new advisor, she wanted to have a guest speaker. So our very first guest speaker will be Kevin Sandell from the Sandell Law Firm, who's going to talk about entrepreneurship, and he is also a past member of NHS, so it'll be a nice little connection there. The blood drive we talked about, and that again is open to the public, so we encourage people to come and donate blood. Parent-teacher conferences are coming up on February 11th. Waiver Day also is the following day, so there's no school for students. The following Monday, there's no school for staff. Another woohoo. February 18th, we have a College Credit Plus meeting coming up. So again, one of those informational meetings for parents who want to find out information about our College Credit Plus programming. That's in the evening as well. And I just found out today, we will be, actually this morning, more of our archery equipment came in. We got a fabulous donation we talked about from Whitetails Unlimited Incorporated. I just talked with Luke Kuzma today, as a matter of fact, to tell him that all of our archery equipment came in. It's sitting in my office in giant boxes, but we were able to almost double the equipment that we purchased with the grant from last year because of their donation, which is just really fantastic. The kids truly enjoy that program. I will be on the radio show of Steve Jones again this year. He invited me back. I'm not quite sure why yet, but February 8th, I will be speaking about our archery program, and he is actively trying to get other schools to do the same thing. So that's coming up as well. And one last thing, Mr. Brayman and I talked quite a bit about a profile for the high school, when again, looking forward to colleges and things like that. When students start to apply, the colleges ask for profiles of the high school that they're attending. And as we researched a little bit, we didn't have one, so I created one. It's kind of a work in progress still. Mr. Schmidt and I sat down our last time this morning. We've met about 3 times to put all this information together. Once it's solidified and there's no mistakes and things like that, we're going to put it on our website for students to access. They can print it off if they need it. But it also just goes to that whole being transparent and putting everything out there for everyone to be able to access. So I just brought 2 copies of it. I thought I'd pass it around. It's 4 pages right now because, again, we're in the process of just putting it together and making it look the way we want to. So we're getting there. That's all I have.
Can you just hit a couple high points of the College Credit Plus program, just for the new people?
Yeah, right now we are working with 4 different universities. So we have Stark State, we have Kent State, we have Youngstown, and there's one more. I think we have 1 student with Akron. It's a flux right now because the universities are now requiring the teachers, the adjunct professors, the teachers that teach here, who have that college credit to offer to our students, they're now requiring them to be certified specifically in the area that they teach. So there are a few teachers who have their masters but not in the specific area. So they have to go back to school in order to continue to offer that college credit. But we have quite a few staff that are qualified that do offer that college credit. So our students are able to take a class here at high school and earn that credit before they go off to college.
So it's a dual. It's the next phase of the dual credit.
Dual credit. Mm-hmm. So it's just a really
it's
nice.
With younger grades too. I mean, have you gotten anybody from younger grades rather than typical?
It's not all
junior,
seniors.
Senior? Yeah, I mean, is it going? Have you got anybody from the lower grades yet?
I think we have a few sophomores in the program already. The thing is, they have to take that ACT. They have to have an entrance required ACT score. They have to be accepted into the college itself and then take the class. The plus to it is that it's not an AP class. The AP class you take all year long, and at the end you take that AP exam. If you pass the exam, you get that AP credit.
This is a college credit plus class. You take the class, you earn a C or higher, and you get that credit going forward. So, we're getting there. We're learning, you know, as we go along. It's hard to coordinate with 4 different colleges. Youngstown seems to be the biggest university that we work with right now. They offer the most flexible programming. So we're looking at, do we streamline that and stay with one university so that it's easier for us, for the parents, for the students to get those entrance requirements and all that taken care of, rather than spreading it, and we have 4 different universities that can have 4 different requirements, 4 different sets of people that you constantly talk with.
Yeah.
So
So
we're
if a
working
student
on
took, a student can conceivably have to apply to 3 or 4 different schools.
it, depending on
to
the
take
class
all
that
the
they want,
classes.
right? So if we streamline it, it might be a little easier on everyone.
Great, thank you.
Sure. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Thanks, Lori.
Thank you.
Mr. Walker, sir?
Good evening. I just wanted to report on our middle school spelling bee that we held last week. Nadia McClincy was our winner. Our first runner-up was Cohen Moses, and then the alternate was Sam Taylor. The winner and the first runner-up will represent us at Maplewood at the county or regional spelling bee. I think that's January 26th, I believe, but that's in the evening at Maplewood. So congratulations to them, and several teachers also helped out with that as far as judging and being the announcers. All of our language arts teachers were involved in that. The middle school will be holding a food drive next week from Tuesday to Friday. You kind of wonder, this is kind of a weird time of year for a food drive. But we found out through some of our contacts, people that attend St. Joe's Church, we found out that the food shelf, which is housed there at the church, really, they get a lot of food at Thanksgiving and Christmas, but then there's kind of a lull there in the beginning of the year. So we thought we'll take up the challenge on that, and we are asking our students to bring in non-canned food this time. They need boxed cereals, breakfast cereal, that kind of stuff, staples, paper products. And so we're going to do that next week, and then we're going to offer a donut reward for the grade level that just brings in the highest total per grade level. We're hoping that will be a fun incentive and get a lot of kids to participate. And then the following week, the week after that, the last week of January, will be our Spirit Week at the middle school. We'll have a big pep rally on Wednesday to celebrate or Thursday, I forget, but to celebrate our winter sports, our cheerleaders, basketball and wrestling. And there's a bunch of themes throughout the week, camo day and that kind of stuff. So that'll be fun. My next item here, I typed long range view, and what I mean by that is that although we have a lot of fun stuff at the middle school and we believe in that, we do have to hunker down and get ready for the state tests that are coming up. And I counted this morning, we have 53 days until the first day of state testing, 53 academic days, instructional days. And so I appreciate the excellent work of our teachers. We've already, the last couple of weeks here after break, we've really started focusing on standards, on instructional practices, even making sure that our assessments are aligned with what we anticipate the state assessments will look like as far as extended word problems and things like that. So we have 53 days to that. Our first day of testing, well, for the whole district is April 11th, and we're looking forward to the challenge. So that's my report. Any questions?
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
I like the hesitation there.
Evening. I have a few fun things here, a few curriculum things here. First, I'd like to introduce Brooke Ebrance. She is the newest member of Waterloo Elementary. She student taught with Mrs. Moon in kindergarten through the fall, and we had an aide position open up in a kindergarten classroom, and she came on, so she didn't miss a day with us. She started back January 4th as an employee and has been doing an awesome job. So I'd just like to introduce her and thank her for her hard work. We're in the middle of a Spirit Week this week. Today was Hack Day. Tomorrow's your favorite sports team. Some kids have been excited about that. I wanted to highlight Barb Ropp for some work she's doing with our high flyers. I think I've mentioned this before, but She's given us a cool opportunity to get outside of the district. We're gonna be visiting some other schools. On the 22nd, we're gonna be at Fields Elementaries. And then on the 1st of February, Mrs. Rock's taking them to Marlington Elementary to do a performance there. So it's a cool opportunity for those kids to get out of the school during the school day and show what they've been practicing over the last, couple of months. So I thought that was really cool that Mrs. Rock is taking that on. Our Teacher of the Month for December was Shannon Mendenhall. Mrs. Mendenhall, this is something we've been doing this year where the teachers nominate a fellow staff member, and we had an overwhelming amount of nominations for Mrs. Mendenhall with all the work she did with the holiday performances. She puts in a lot of time before and after school to really make a great production with those evening events. So congratulations to her. In our last board meeting, I had mentioned gifted testing. We had that just finished up today, actually. Mrs. Shaver did all the makeups for the kids who were absent. So once we collect those scores, Mrs. Ryan and I will be looking at those to start developing an action plan for the services for the students who score in the gifted range. And that was the COGAT that we took. Next week, we'll be doing another round of Teachers Observing Teachers. This is a really cool opportunity for our teachers to sign up to go visit another teacher's classroom if there's an effective strategy or lesson delivery or classroom management style that they know another teacher's having success with. Gives them an opportunity to get out of their classroom and go observe that teacher in action. It's really enhanced our collaboration as a staff. We have a lot more communication going on, I feel like, once they get into these observations. Some professional development has come from it. We have a couple teachers who use a reading program called Orton Gillingham. And they were formerly a special ed teacher. It's Mrs. Sullivan, and some teachers observed her using this and saw some impressive success. So we're looking at actually Mrs. Sullivan leading a team of teachers in professional development for that. So it's really helped with exposing some of the talents we have and getting other teachers the opportunity to see that. And then finally, I wanted to talk a little bit about Mrs. Sandell, some curriculum things she's been doing as our curriculum director. For grades 1 and 2, she ordered some ELA Common Core curriculum that's going to help us with testing in the spring. So we're looking forward to getting that in the teachers' hands. I think they already have it. Then for grades 1 through 5, we got some math curriculum. And Mrs. Sandell also set our teachers up 3 through 10th grade with a professional development that is through the Summit County ESC, correct? And that is grade level specific. So we'll send our 3rd grade math teachers and they'll be in a professional development with several other schools' 3rd grade math teachers. So it's a good opportunity to not only hear what's going to be on the test and get some strategies down, but it's also a good opportunity to meet and collaborate with teachers from other districts to see how they're preparing to, raise the test scores ultimately. So that is all I have. Does anyone have any questions?
You said that one program is called Orton Gillingham?
Orton Gillingham. It's a specially designed, Mrs. Ryan could probably speak a little bit more articulate about this, but it's something that is kind of a tested program that is very used.
Prescriptive.
Yeah, and you use the kids, it's almost like the touch math thing where they're reading in a way where they can remember it. Yeah, multi-sensory. There's a fancy term. But in the younger grades, it's proven to work really well. It's something that I think a lot of schools think of as a program that's best suited for special needs students, but in those early developmental age groups, it's really effective for building a strong foundation in reading. So the class that it was observed in was a first grade classroom where it was done with all the students, and they were seeing some pretty impressive performance. So a lot more of our teachers are getting on board with infusing a little of that curriculum into our regular curriculum.
Great,
Anything else? Thank you.
thanks. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the, I want to thank all the principals for your input and updates. Appreciate that. It's always good to see what's going on and learn new things like the,
Multi-sensory?
yes, the multi-sensory. And brings us to item 12, Diane, the Maplewood Career Center update.
We had our organizational and regular meeting last night for this year and elected new officers. Maplewood board meetings are now going paperless, so we just got, boardpack.com is who we're going through up there, and we just were given a little bit of a demonstration last night, so we'll have another more intense demonstration next month. Wanted to encourage everybody, if they are up in the Brevent area, Maple Leaf Restaurant is available between 10:30 and 12:30. And also, since we are going paperless, the papers that I give out to you guys will now be emailed. So if you have a specific email that you would like to get that, just go ahead and text me or send me an email, and I'll just go ahead and send everybody the minutes via email. And that's all I have.
Okay, and legislative update, I believe that was Vicky last year, correct? Do you have anything?
Sure do.
Nope, okay, and then that'll be, Ken will be next month. Okay, item 14, new business. Is there any new business that any of the board members like to bring up at this time? No? Okay, great. That brings us to the consent agenda. Mr. Brayman, Superintendent's business?
Yeah, just one thing, and Mr. Strigar pointed this out, but to recommend to issue a one-year limited aid contract to Brooke Beavrens, and she's here. Want to stand up and say hello? There she is. She would be board approved for step 0, tier 2, effective January 4th, contingent upon full and complete compliance with the state of Ohio and Waterloo Board of Education. And that's all I have. And welcome aboard.
Great. Okay, we have a motion to accept, I'm sorry, wait a second. I believe I need to look at treasurer's business.
There's only 3 items, unless you have any questions on anything.
I'm fine. Anybody have any questions on either treasurer or superintendent's business? No. Okay, then at this point, we would, can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So move.
Second, please?
Second it.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Okay, great. I just did want to just comment that item L, we're just tweaking an existing contract to match up with what was the motion to match up with the contract and the intent. That's what we're doing there. So cleaning that up. Okay, so no other comments? Roll call, please, Todd.
Whittlesey?
Yes.
Brock?
Yes.
Fletcher?
Yes.
Gump?
Yes.
Pussenterry?
Yes, motion passes. Okay. So at this time, can we have a motion to recess into executive session to discuss employment?
So move. Second.
Second, any comments or questions? Roll call, please, Todd.
Brock?
Yes.
Whittlesey?
Yes.
Fletcher?
Yes.
Gump?
Yes.
Pussenterry?
Yes. Great.
We might have to have that out here, because the Viking Den has a lot of upgraded our technology.
Okay.
Infrastructure, I think it's pretty crowded, I'll go check.
Oh, is it cold?